Hi guys, so what we got today? Well, something just a little bit different. Yes, it's a guitar. Yes, it's an ordinary guitar. Or is it? No, it's definitely not ordinary. This is something I've not come across before, and that's for sure. We'll get round to that in a minute. So just want to run you through the specs. So first thing is, what's it called? Well, it's the Enya Go Sonic. Now, these are the new ones. I believe there's a black and a white as well, although that might be called a slightly different model number. I'm not too sure on that, but I think basically it's the same. It's the same guitar. These are the new colours. This is the blue gradient, which I prefer. They also do like a red to a yellow and then a purple to a pink. So take your choice on that. Now then, what's a bit different about it to start with, and certainly I've never had a guitar like this, is it is all one piece carbon fibre. All right. So now the first thing you're probably thinking of, carbon fibre, how much is that going to cost me then? Well, not as much as what you might think, to be honest with you. I've checked out the prices here. In the UK, they're about £450. I believe they're about the same in dollars. And whatever it is in your country. So let's run through top to bottom about what the specs of this actually is and what's on it and what have you. So first of all, we have our Enya own brand sealed tuners. They work absolutely perfectly fine. Then we've got a nut, but it's what comes after the nut, and that is what we call a 0 fret. Now a 0 fret is, you could argue, fret 1, but it's kind of instead of a nut, although you still need a nut to hold the strings in place, and that's all the nut does, which kind of alleviates having a badly cut nut, which sadly a lot of guitars actually do have, and that can be a bit of a pain. And expensive to get sorted out, really. So one of the advantages, and I don't know why we don't have more guitars with a 0 fret, I've not seen one for a long time, is that, you know, you can actually get a nice low action, and this is a nice low action. Probably a little bit too low for me, if I'm honest. I would probably want to raise it up. But that's what we've got. So then we're coming down, we've got 22 frets, so it's full scale length. These frets are pre-rounded, so they're not actually put in and then finished off, I don't think anyway. Which means is you can't feel them at all on the sides. It just feels absolutely great. I think the fretboard is carbon fibre as well. I'm guessing it is. I can't seem to find any info on that. I mean, it looks like a bit of ebony or a bit of rosewood, but I don't think it is. I actually think it's the carbon fibre too. Very, very smooth. So yeah, so like I say, these fret ends are, well, there are no fret ends as such, and it just makes it nice and smooth there. Right, so we've got the truss rod. Now then, that's the adjustment here, which you get a tool to adjust it. In my opinion, this is where all truss rods should be. I don't mind them when they're in the top of the headstock. That's not too bad. It's when you get the vintage style ones, you actually have to take the nut off and then make a rough adjustment, put it back, string it up. It's a nightmare. So this actually, and I've got one of these on one of my other guitars, or a couple of my other guitars actually. It just makes it so much easier. You know, there you go. There it is. Deep, quick twist, and then you're done. So easy. So well done, Enya, on that. That's where a truss rod, in my opinion, should really be. Coming down to the pickups now, we've got an Alnico 2 in the bridge and an Alnico 5 in the neck. Now the 2 is kind of a little bit more of a tighter sound, more compressed, which is much better for rock, okay? And that's what and distorted sounds, and that's generally what we use the bridge pickup for anyway, okay? So then we've got an Alnico 5, like I say, in the neck. A little bit more loose, a little bit more creamy. And I mean, this is based on like a Les Paul style. Upper fret access, by the way, is just a breeze, absolute breeze. There's no problems getting there whatsoever, even with my small hands. So for shredding up near the top, Absolutely great. You've got no worries with that at all. Now then, so we've got some buttons here. What do they all do? Right, okay, well, I'm going to go into this in more depth in a minute. But basically what we have is a switch here, which is also a volume control. Now what that does is that operates here, which is a speaker, a 10-watt speaker. I'll get back to that in a minute. Typical kind of Les Paul switch, bridge, both, neck. This is the main volume for when you want to plug the guitar in, and this guitar plugs into the amp just like any other guitar on the planet. It also has a coil tap, which is really good, so you get a little bit more of a stratty tone, to be honest with you. All right. So on the side here, what we've got is we have got our, where are we? So we have got our USB port there, which is USB-C. That's for charging it. It also is a connection straight into your interface for DAW. All right, or your however you're recording. We've got our main 1/4-inch jack for just a lead going to the amp, and then really handy 3.5 headphone jack, so you can actually play this through your headphones as well. So this really is stacking up to be quite some versatile guitar. And what was interesting, I had a rehearsal here last week because we had a gig at the weekend, and I changed to this for one of the songs, and at the end of it the bass player went, "Here, hang on, you're not plugged in. Where's your wireless?" He didn't even see a wireless thing. I said, "I'm not, mate." I said, "I'm just playing through the speaker." And like even the drummer looked round there and said, "What?" And they couldn't believe. Now this was halfway through the set, so I've been playing through my amp, through all my pedals with a nice guitar. They hadn't noticed. They know that I'd changed the guitar, but they didn't notice any difference in the sound. And that's all I was using. Yes, it's this 10-watt is not loud enough for busking, but the drummer was literally had pads on as well, because we don't want to deafen everybody. But they didn't even notice that I'd been using the speaker. The speaker on this is that good. I've heard similar things to this in the past, and it's not been clever, trust me, not been clever at all. And I'm going to go through the sounds a bit later, all right? And then hopefully you can pick up exactly how good this speaker really is. Like I say, it's not loud enough for busking, that's for sure. But if you, I don't know, you want to pick this up and go and play in front of your telly, which is what I do, obviously, when my wife's at work. She won't let me otherwise. Strangely, don't know why. I have to put up with her knitting, so why can't I play? Never mind. I'm losing myself on that one, aren't I? But yeah, so it's great if you just want to pick it up. Now then, who is this aimed at? So I've took this out this week. We've just had the last week of term, and I've played this, or let the students play it, some friends have a go, my head of music, and I've got a list of what they said, because I'm always interested. What I like is what I like. To be able to speak to lots of students and other people, other guitarists, it's always handy to see what they think. And my main question to them is, who is this aimed at? So who's it for? Okay, so I've got my list here. So my head of music at one school said, "Oh, that's cool, great for holidays." He does a lot of camping, so it's great for him just to put it in the car and what have you, and in headphones, magic. You're laughing. Another friend of mine, he said, for someone who has a few guitars but wants something just to grab and play. Yeah, like I say, you just like want something, just, you don't want the hassle of getting your amp out or whatever. I'm lucky I've got a studio where everything's set up anyway. But I have been, like I say, in the rehearsal, I just picked it up and played it. Another friend, that was a good one. "I want one." That's all he said. Which I thought was great. Students, right. "Love the look, nice and light, easy to play." Great, that's all you can ask for. Another student, "Great for beginners." Another student, "Great for picnics." Fantastic. Another student, "Good for beginners as they don't need an amp straight away." Well, that's true as well, and plus the fact you can use headphones, so you're not annoying everybody in the house. And the last one, "I could do with this when I go camping in the summer." So who's it aimed at? Well, the only thing I can deduce from that is pretty much everyone, if I'm honest. I can really see a lot of advantages to this. On the face of it, it may look a little bit like a gimmick, but trust me, when you hear the sounds of this, and there'll be some footage, I actually did a gig at the weekend, outdoor gig, so the sound is not exactly the best. They never are at a festival. And I used it for one song. And listening back to it, it was hard to tell between this and one of my other, you know, much, much more expensive guitars that I go out gigging with. So there you go. It's aimed at everyone, I think. So the lovely people at Enya have also sent me across some great accessories to try out. The first one is the strap, which is the MS1. Now this basically, quite a neat little design this. We just tie that on very quickly, takes a second, onto your strap button. We've got a magnet here, it just clips on to there. That's it, nice and steady. I actually played this live with this strap. It's fine, okay? There's no worries with it at all. It's not going to come off. And I always tell my students, always get strap locks, all right? So it's just a different way of doing it. And of course, you want to take it off. That's simple. Back on. That's simple. Really, really quick, okay? The next one, we've got the tuner, which is the ST1, the smart tuner. These are getting really popular now. And they're very, very expensive too. Not much more than a clip-on tuner, to be honest with you. In actual fact, cheaper than some clip-on tuners I've seen. So I've deliberately put one of the strings out. What I'm going to do is just pop it on over the top, and all I need to do is play the string. There we go. And hopefully you can hear the beep, and there it is. Perfectly in tune, that quick, all right? It also doubles up as a metronome as well, and does all your guitars and your ukuleles, so fantastic. And the next one, which was properly great, I actually got this just before we left for our summer recess, which is their wireless unit. Again, very, very inexpensive. Now, I don't know why I'd never thought of doing this, but in the classrooms that I teach are very small. And I have tripped over leads before, many times in actual fact, because the kid's a good laugh, I know. But there you go, which is why I always take out my Strat, which is now naturally relict, as you can imagine. So this is actually, and I will use this all the time from now on. So all it does, it comes in a great little carry case, and I've literally just got one end in my amp. Turn that on there. There we go, simple as that. They just pair really easy. Comes in a lovely little carry case, which charges it up, USB-C. All right, that's the WB1 wireless system. Like I say, that has really, I don't know why I never thought of using one before, but from now on, I will definitely be using this in the classroom situation. So we're just going to have a look at the app now very briefly. Okay, well done, Enya. You've actually made an app that I can understand and actually use. There was one little problem I had, but then I soon found out what that problem was. I couldn't work out how you turn these effects on and off. I will show you how to do it in a minute. Okay, perhaps if I'd had read the manual, I'd have been all right. But I didn't, did I? So there we go. What can I say? But generally, it's a very intuitive app. All right. So if I can use it, pretty much anyone can. So basically what we've got here. Now, the way I'm recording this, I'm just going straight into Logic on an audio channel, so that it's literally going to pick it up. I tried it with a microphone in the room, but this room is a little bit boomy, so it didn't sound too clever, to be honest with you. So that's why I've gone straight in. I mean, it would sound great live, but recorded maybe not so much. I need a decent mic, to be honest with you, to do it, and I just haven't got one at the moment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to run you through this. We've basically got 4 channels, all right? We've got clean, overdrive, distortion, and high gain. Now you can change them in the app either by pressing this button here, and that's your volume control now. All right, pickups, as per usual. And you can change them via that, or you can change them in the app. So what I'm doing, we're on the soft cry. So this is just... Now I have actually changed that a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I actually put the modulation on there. Now this is where I went wrong. I couldn't turn an effect on. So what you do is you just drag it up or down for if you want it. So now I've turned that off. There we go. There we go, turn it off. If I want it back on again, turn it down and then adjust it however you want. Same with a delay, anything like that. I would double click it to and then, yeah, lots of things going on there. Those things are set really, really high, okay? There is, I'll give those effects their due. They're actually really good. And also, there is a lot of headroom on there. That's not, I mean, that delay would go on forever. And it's probably only about 60% on the feedback there, all right? So back to the presets. And by the way, we've actually, I'll just save the changes, why not? What we've got here as well, we can, when I go back into it, we've actually, in the edit, we've got 2 amps. We've got either deluxe clean or we've got 100 distortion. I'm on clean, so I'm going to have that deluxe clean. So back to the presets. Let's just save that. Waves, let's have a listen. So a nice reverb and chorus. Old time. Delay. Delay, bit of chorus on there, no reverb. Breathe. Let's have a listen. So a little bit of tremolo there. Sounds pretty good. Now I can either on the app change it by tapping the overdrive there. Oh, a little bit. That's what they call a tower. Working backwards, I've got whisper. A little bit of chorus on it. Texas. It's quite nice. Like I say, these are just the presets. You can adjust them to your own taste. All right, standing. Just a nice bit of straightforward rock, really. Or instead of going to the app, I can just change it with the buttons. So now I'm on distortion. So this one, I'm on vocation. Then I've got train. A little bit more distortion, not enough reverb for me, but that's easy to sort out. Talking. A little bit of modulation on there. Then we've got Dream Road, which I think might supposed to be Dream Road, but I'm not sure on that one. Tremolo again. No prizes for guessing what that is. And then we can go to the high gain. A lot of reverb on that. That's actually on the overall. Let's go back to the beginning of real. Again, nice bit of distortion on there. The distorted sounds really cool, actually. Then we've got times. Little bit of delay on there. Blood. A lot of reverb on there, bit of delay, and then that overall sound. Tons and tons and tons of the gain on there. And I'm not even sure if the gain's right up. Let's have a look. Edit. Preamp actually is right up there. Yeah, turn the effects on and off. There's so much adjustment on here, and like I say, I think Enya have done a really good job on this, because like if someone like me can work it, then it's pretty much going to be worked by anyone, if I'm honest. The only problem I had was actually turning them on and off, which you just have to tap it, like delay, drag it up, then it's off, tap it, drag it down, it's on. There we go. It's as simple as that. But yeah, so there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. As I say, I think they've done a really, really good job on this app. All right. Okay then, guys. Catch you soon. Cheers. Bye.